Let's be honest, networking online can feel cringe. You worry that you'll look needy or annoying or like you're about to pitch someone something that they don't want. But here's the truth. If you want to grow your career in today's digital world, LinkedIn networking isn't optional anymore. It's a skill, and most professionals are doing it completely wrong. Today, I'm going to show you how to network online without feeling awkward, without looking desperate, and without forcing fake conversations. But before we dive in, if you're new here and haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button and the bell, especially if you want practical job search advice, encouragement, and wisdom to support your career transition journey. Let us be your guide. If we haven't met yet, my name is Chuks, Agada, also known as Dr. A. I'm an executive career coach and former executive recruiter, and I've helped hundreds of seasoned professionals, directors, VPs, executives, and senior leaders navigate the job market with clarity and confidence. Through my company, Career Calibration, we've helped hundreds more transition into six-figure plus roles, even in today's rapidly shifting job market. And here's the reality. The way professionals build opportunities has changed. We're no longer living in a world where everything happens through conferences or in-person networking. Today, many meaningful career opportunities begin online, especially on platforms like LinkedIn. It's not the only one. Let me give you a quick example. One of my clients reached out to a chief operating officer with a simple 2-sentence message, not a pitch, not a long story, just a direct, respectful ask. He replied in 15 minutes. That conversation led to a referral and eventually an interview for a role that wasn't even posted. That's how powerful online networking has become, because many roles get filled through internal networks and private conversations long before they ever appear on a job board. And the decision makers and hiring managers, executives, and senior leaders, they're spending time on LinkedIn. So if you're a seasoned professional trying to advance your career, online networking isn't optional anymore. It's a core skill. So stay with me until the end, and I'll show you exactly how to network online in a way that feels natural, confident, and not at all awkward. Let's get into it. Before we get into how to network without feeling awkward, we need to talk about why it feels awkward in the first place. First, most professionals were trained for the old model of networking. So conferences, mixers, handshakes, and small talk, that role rewarded social interaction. But today, most networking happens online, and that requires a completely different skill set that most people were never taught. Second, many of us don't want to feel like a burden. We worry we'll come across as annoying, needy, or transactional. And digital rejection, even something as simple as being left on read, feels harsher because there's no tone or facial expression behind it. Third, a lot of people try to make a withdrawal before making a deposit. They reach out asking for referrals, introductions, or opportunities before building any type of relationship. And that's why it feels uncomfortable. It's out of order. You cannot make a withdrawal from a relationship you've never deposited into. Fourth, online communication lacks context clues. In person, we can read tone, facial expression, and body language. Online, a single sentence can come across as friendly, cold, or even salesy, depending on who's reading it. That ambiguity creates hesitation. And finally, many professionals compare themselves to big influencers and assume they can't stand out, but credibility isn't about having a huge following. It's about clarity, relevance, and intention. And here's something interesting that puts this all into perspective. Many career advice sources suggest that a large portion of jobs, sometimes as many as 70 to 80%, are never publicly posted. They get filled through referrals, internal hiring, or networking. And recent 2025 data shows that 54% of US workers were hired through a personal connection, meaning more than half of job outcomes begin with relationships, not applications. And LinkedIn's own data shows that personalized messages get noticeably higher response rate than generic outreach, often 15 to 40% better when you tailor your message. So the awkwardness isn't because networking doesn't work, it's because Most people were never taught the new rules of doing it online. Now that we understand why online networking feels awkward, let's talk about how to make it feel natural, effective, and even enjoyable. Because once you understand the new rules, especially on LinkedIn, everything becomes easier. And I say that confidently because I've seen this from both sides. Not only have I coached hundreds of seasoned professionals through online networking, I also worked directly at LinkedIn, where I saw how leaders, recruiters, and decision makers actually use the platform and all the data behind it. And I can tell you this, people aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for clarity, intention, and professionalism. That's it. So let's walk through the new rules. So rule number 1, your profile is the first impression before you ever send a message. People are already checking your headline, photo, about section, work history, activity, and here's the part most people don't realize. On LinkedIn, your profile is your handshake. It's your credibility check. It's your brand. If your profile looks incomplete, unclear, or outdated, people won't take your outreach seriously. Not because they don't like you, but because they don't have enough information to trust you yet. A strong profile removes resistance. A weak profile creates hesitation. Rule number 2, make deposits before you make withdrawals. We talked about this earlier. You cannot ask for something before you've created familiarity or trust. On LinkedIn, deposits can be small. Engaging with someone's post, leaving a thoughtful comment, sharing something relevant, or even congratulating them on a milestone, or even just showing up consistently with valuable content. These little interactions warm people up. They create name recognition. They make your eventual message feel natural, not random. When you make deposits first, your outreach stops feeling intrusive and starts feeling like a continued conversation. Rule number 3, keep your outreach short, clear, and direct. When I worked at LinkedIn, I saw this firsthand. Busy leaders do not respond to long paragraphs. They respond to clarity. A great message is short, respectful, specific, and direct about why you're reaching out. Not, hi, I hope your Tuesday is going great. I wanted to connect because, but instead, hi Janice, I've been following your work in biotechnology. I have a quick question about AI and digitalization. Would you be open to a brief insight? That's it. Simple, human, and direct. Rule number 4, match the energy of the room. One of the biggest mistakes people make is using the same networking tone for everyone. But tone needs to shift based on who you're speaking to. Peers should be conversational. Directors, concise, respectful. VPs and executives, extremely direct, no fluff. And influential industry leaders, value first and brief. Networking becomes awkward when your tone doesn't match the context. When you match the energy of the person you're reaching out to, your message feels aligned, not forced. And rule number 5, use AI as a tool, not a substitute for intent. AI can help you draft outreach messages, refine your wording, stay concise, personalize at scale, and reduce the time it takes to network consistently. But it can't replace authenticity, relevance, or thoughtfulness. Think of AI as your assistant. You are still the strategist and your voice still matters. They want to hear from you. So rule number 6, consistency over perfection. You don't need to network every day for 2 hours. You don't need to post comment daily. You don't need to write essays on LinkedIn. You just need to be consistent, even for 10 minutes a day. Visibility is very important when networking online. Since there are well over 1 billion members, if you do not show up, you will fade into obscurity. The LinkedIn algorithm rewards consistency, and people remember the names they see frequently. Networking momentum builds over time through small, repeatable actions. So now that you know the new rules, let's pull everything together and walk through 2 practical approaches you can use immediately, whether you want to build long-term relationships or reach out directly to senior leaders. So let's move into that now. There are really only 2 approaches you need to master. So one is relationship-driven and the other is direct and to the point. Both are powerful when used at the right time. And knowing when to use which approach is what separates effective networkers from everyone else. So let's break them down. So approach number 1, the relationship builder approach. This is the warm approach, the one that's natural, authentic, and designed to create real professional relationships over time. And this works especially well with peers, hiring managers you admire, industry professionals you want to learn from, potential mentors, leaders you want to build credibility with. And so here's what it looks like in practice. So step number one, start by showing up in their world. Engage with their post, leave thoughtful comments, share something they might find useful or interesting. These small interactions create recognition. They make your name familiar. That alone makes your message more likely to be opened. And in step number two, send a simple value-focused message. Nothing long, nothing dramatic, just something that shows intention and respect. For example, "Hi Kelly, I've been following your insights on commercialization and really appreciate the perspective you bring. Just wanted to say thank you. It's been genuinely helpful." No ask, no pressure, just a deposit. Step three, build familiarity before making any request. A few engagements, a thoughtful comment, a relevant message, that's all it takes. And when the time is right to ask a question or request insight, it doesn't feel abrupt or needy. It feels like a natural extension of the relationship. This is the approach that builds long-term opportunities, real connections, and genuine support. And approach number two, the direct ask approach. Now, this next approach is very different. It's not warm, it's not long, and it's not relationship building in the traditional sense. This is the approach you use when reaching out to very busy people, senior directors, VPs, SVPs, C-suite leaders, founders, high-level decision makers. These individuals don't have time for the back and forth introductions. They appreciate clarity and brevity, and here's what I've learned, both from coaching executives and from my time at LinkedIn. Busy leaders respect directness when it's done well. A clean, direct outreach might sound like this. "Hi Dean, I admire the work your team is doing in digital transformation. I have one quick question about tailoring customer journeys across multiple channels with AI. Would you be open to sharing a brief insight?" Short, specific, and respectful of their time. This works because it eliminates friction. You're not pretending to build a relationship they don't have time for. You're not giving a long monologue. You're simply asking a clear, specific question. And the truth is, many executives actually enjoy giving quick guidance, as long as it's straightforward and not a request for a job or a referral. So let's put all this together. When do you use each approach? It depends on two things. Number one, the level of the person you're contacting. The higher the level, the more direct that you need to be. And then number two, the nature of the relationship. So if you want to build a long-term connection, take the warm approach. If you simply need insight or guidance, use a direct approach. When you choose the right approach at the right time, networking stops feeling awkward and it starts feeling strategic, intentional, and even enjoyable. If any of this is resonating so far, do me a quick favor and tap that like button. It really helps this video reach more professionals who are struggling with online networking and don't know where to start. And I have a quick question for you. What part of networking feels most awkward for you? Is it reaching out, following up, starting the conversation, or not knowing what to say? Or it could be something else. Drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to see what you're experiencing, and I respond to as many as I can. So at this point, you understand the new rules. You know the two main approaches, but the big question still remains. How do you actually remove the awkwardness? How do you get to a place where networking feels natural instead of forced? Let's break this down because it's simpler than you think. Number one, you want to shift your mindset from asking to connecting. Awkwardness shows up when you feel like you're taking from someone. But networking is not about taking, it's about connecting. When you approach someone with curiosity, with respect, with genuine desire to learn something, the energy completely changes. You're no longer interrupting, you're interacting, and people can feel that difference immediately. Number two, focus on the human, not the title. It's easy to get intimidated when you're messaging someone with director or VP or chief in their headline. But underneath that title, there's still a person. They're dealing with deadlines, they're leading teams, they're trying to solve problems, they're navigating their own careers. When you focus on the human, not the hierarchy, the interaction becomes less stressful and far more authentic. Number 3, don't overthink the perfect message. This is a big one. You don't need a dissertation, you don't need paragraphs, you don't need a perfectly polished script. People respond to clarity, honesty, and intention. If you sit on a message for 3 days trying to perfect every sentence, it's going to feel heavier than it needs to. Your goal is not perfection, it's connection. Number 4, let go of the outcome. This might be the most freeing mindset shift of all. You are not responsible for who responds. You are only responsible for showing up professionally. Some people will reply, some won't. Some will see it and come back later. And some will never see it at all. It's not personal, it's simply the nature of digital communication. When you stop tying your self-worth and your networking confidence to someone else's response, everything becomes lighter. And here's something that puts this into perspective. The Pew Research found that about half of US adults use platforms like, let's say, Facebook and YouTube every single day. In other words, people are already online constantly. So when you show up consistently on LinkedIn, you're not bothering anyone. You're simply meeting people where they already are. And in number 5, remember you're building bridges before you need them. Networking is not about getting something today. It's about building relationships that may support you months or even years from now. And building bridges takes time. The reason networking feels less awkward over time is because your confidence grows. Your messages get clearer. Your profile gets stronger. Your consistency compounds, and people start to recognize your name. And one day, you'll reach out to someone you admire, and instead of them thinking, "Who is this?" they'll think, "Oh yeah, I've seen their comments, I've seen their posts, I know who they are." That's when the doors start opening. Online networking doesn't have to feel awkward. Once you understand the new rules, choose the right approach, and focus on connecting instead of getting something, you'll be surprised at how natural it becomes and how quickly opportunities begin to open up for you. All right, that wraps it up. So if you want more strategies like this to help you stand out in a crowded job market, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I release videos every week to help seasoned professionals navigate career transitions with clarity and confidence. So if you found today's video helpful, make sure to like the video. It really helps more professionals discover this content. And here's my question for you as you're heading out. What's one thing you want to get better at when it comes to networking on LinkedIn? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear where you're focusing your growth. Lastly, would you like expert job search advice delivered weekly into your inbox? Sign up to join our exclusive email list. Get exclusive insights designed to help you land your next role. Sign up today by clicking on the link below and take control of your job search. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Over and out.